He got 99 problems and the biggest one is me. He got all of these little bitches and the biggest one is me. Keep a mug up on my face, I know they trying to get to tea. I don't be fucked up by nothing cause I be smoking weed.
Hey everybody, so we're finna get right into it. I'm sorry if I sound nasally, y'all, but I gotta get the job done. So, y'all, so I parted my hair and I started braiding the back half of my head. Honestly, I could probably cornrow neater, but honestly, I didn't care. It's going under the wig cap anyway, so I just did what I could. Honestly, see, as you can see, it doesn't really look the best, but you can tell it's a braid and it's gonna do. So if you're a beginner, do not worry. You can do some flat twists. It honestly doesn't matter. Do what you want, do what's comfortable. And another thing is, since my braids aren't so tight, it's more comfortable in my opinion. Once I got done braiding halfway on my last braid, I kind of started incorporating the ends of my other braids to try to make it like one big braid so I could tuck it in a little bit easier instead of like having like a bulge, you know? Hopefully I explained that well, but if I didn't explain it well, hopefully you can watch what I'm doing and kind of get the hang of it from watching it. Hopefully you got it. If not, I can explain a little bit better later. So after I braid that, I go ahead and tuck that in, and now it's time to put on my wig cap. So I get my wig cap ready, and then I go ahead and put that on. Now, honestly, I don't know if it really matters if you stretch it, but I stretch it just because I don't want anything tight on my head. So I go ahead and stretch it. You know, actually, I just realized it probably doesn't matter because you cut it anyway. So it doesn't matter. Once I put my cap on, I start outlining the part of my head that is going to be the Quickweave, which is the back part. So as you see, I'm going a little bit below the part. I don't want to put the glue on the part, but I'm going a little bit below the part so I can outline the top part and then go around the back and outline that whole part. I have learned my lesson. Please do not put no glue on the part, and if you need to, you can always remove, well, after the glue is dry, you can always remove the top part of the cap just to see where your cap is glued down to, and then you can fix it if you need to before you create your base. I know I'm just slapping my glue on here any type of way, but y'all do better than me. So once I finished my outline, I started blow drying my cap or whatever so the glue can dry a little bit quicker. Okay, step 2, which I show in the next clip, is going to be creating your mold for the Quickweave. So I messed up and I started gluing my tracks before I created my mold. But usually you can use ebb glue or you can use a protective gel to create your mold and, you know, blow dry it till it gets a little hard or stiff so you can apply the tracks on there. We'll talk about it more later. But anyway, y'all, this is the tracks I use. Organique Breezy Wave. Yes, Breezy Wave. Okay, so I think it's only $10 to maybe like $12 a pack depending on your area. But I feel like the bundles or the tracks or whatever, I feel like they're really good for the price that you're paying. And honestly, if you keep up with them, they can last you maybe like a week or two or whatever, maybe even longer. I don't be taking care of my hair, so it never lasts me that long. It's synthetic hair, so it really just does vary on the person. And also what I've seen, I think it also kind of varies on the style because I feel like the curly hair, not the curly hair, I want to say the straight hair, and it was another type of wave I did. It didn't last as long as the Breezy Wave, which is weird. I don't know why it does that, but it just depends on texture. Okay, next, as you can see, I am using the end of the track to start measuring out where I want my first track to go. So I'm going to put one end of the track on the right side of my head or on the right side of my mold, and then I'm going to pull it until it reaches the left side of my mold as well, so I know where to cut the track and where I'm going to glue it. Now I'm trying to make sure I stay within my mold. I do not want to go outside my mold or things will be messed up once I take the cap off or once I cut the cap. Okay, so here I'm just putting the glue on my track. Since it's already measured out, I'm really good to go. So I just glued the track on. I basically placed the track back on my head the same way I measured it out. After laying down my track, I just go down the whole track, making sure I press every spot down to make sure that it's firmly on my cap. Okay, so here you can see me pulling back my cap because I do just want to see where I laid those tracks down. Even though I measured it out already, I do just want to make sure that I did not glue any tracks on my part because when I try to cut that cap later, I need all of my tracks to be in the correct place instead of on my part. Also, when you try to cut the cap, you don't want to end up cutting your tracks or like having something messed up because your track was in the way. Also, when you're doing your ponytail, you also don't want tracks in the way. So just make sure you don't glue it on your part. And the reason I'm saying this is stressing this is because, girl, I done did it so many times and messed up my Quickweave. So I'm trying to help y'all. Please don't do that. Okay, so since the first track is already down, I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the step. As you just saw, or if you didn't see, just go ahead and rewind 10 seconds. I measured out my track. I'm going to put glue on it, and then I'm just going to go ahead and lay it on my head and make sure that it is firmly on my head. Okay, in this next clip, I'm going to show you how I messed up. Before I laid the tracks down, I was supposed to do my protective shield, but I forgot. So in this next clip, you're just going to see me spraying my Ebon spray on the rest of the cap, trying to recover what I already messed up. But it still turned out good anyway. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is. And right here, I'm just checking my progress, trying to see what it's going to look like, trying to see if I'm going to like it. Y'all see that track hanging? Oh, my gosh. I'm also trying to make sure I didn't glue any tracks on my part because I usually do that often. As you see, that one little track sticking up. But it's okay. I fixed it. While laying my tracks, I have been laying them down in a U shape. So now I'm closer to the top and the U is closing in a little bit. I believe this is the point where I started laying my tracks flat across. Okay, now it's time for you to finally cut the cap. And you have the option to cut the cap before you put the tracks on, like after you do your mold. But I chose to wait until I lay my tracks down, then cut the cap just to make sure I didn't mess up. Okay, you're about to see me mess up again. I would recommend flat ironing the top of your hair, or at least blow drying it better than what I did, because I did not blow dry it that good. But the second thing I messed up on is I wouldn't recommend like spraying all of that spray without having your ponytail ready. And then secondly, I think I combed it in. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend combing it in. I would recommend brushing it and like molding your ponytail and having it blow dry like immediately after you get done brushing it. I was still able to make my hair look good, but it just could have been better had I not messed up. So remember, get your ponytail together like this, spray, brush immediately after, and then blow dry immediately after. Also, while you're blow drying, make sure you're continuing to brush your hair so it can be sleek. It usually doesn't hurt, but it was hurting me because since I put all that spray in my hair and I let it dry, I had to brush through the glue. So that's why I would just recommend doing it correctly the first time instead of doing it like I did. Now, I should have had the rubber band already around my ponytail just to make it easier while I'm doing this, but I was tired of redoing my ponytail and ripping the rubber band out my hair, so I just did it like this. Okay, now that I have got my ponytail together, period. Okay, but now I got my ponytail together, I'm just braiding my hair. Okay, now that I'm done braiding my ponytail, I'm going to wrap this styling strip or Quickweave paper or whatever. I'm going to wrap that around my braid. I'm going to secure it, and then I'm going to wrap my ponytail around it. I was trying to tuck my braid in just to make it a little bit smaller, but I was struggling, but I finally got it. Once I get done securing the styling strip, I'm going to put like a tiny bit of glue just to secure the end. Okay, here's another thing that I would recommend doing differently. I would recommend starting from the tip of your ponytail with glue and gluing the tracks around your braid. I did not do that. I just wrapped it around. I don't know why I was messing up so much, but I was messing up. But that's just what I recommend to y'all. Well, not what I recommend. That's really the correct way to do it, but this is not what I recorded. So I'm just telling y'all the correct way to do it, even though I didn't do it. Okay, in this next clip, can you guess what's gonna happen? I'm finna mess up again. Okay, so I will recommend, this is really the right way to do it, getting a thicker piece of hair from the back. Do you guys see this small section of hair I pulled out? That is too small. I was trying to create like the wraparound effect around my ponytail, but like, what is that gonna wrap around? You're not gonna be able to see that small piece of hair. I need to grab a thicker piece of hair and wrap it around. Like, I don't know what I was doing. Here you can see me attempting to fix it because I was just unhappy with the way my ponytail was looking. And this was New Year's Eve, so I really didn't want to go into the New Year looking a hot mess. Maybe just a little hot mess, but not a whole hot mess. Apparently, this is where I stopped recording, but this is how my hair turned out. Now, I don't have any really good videos that clearly show my hair because I had my headband on, and as you can see, like, my hair was behind me, but this is what I have.
Cause I be smoking weed.